So how long does it take to be an intermediate guitar player? Can it be done in 6 months? Of course, but only by a small group of people. But for the majority, it can take forever. And if you don't want to be in the forever group, watch till the end of this video to find out the 7 steps that you need to take starting today to get to the intermediate level. But before we dive in, let's quickly get clear on what an intermediate guitar skill level actually means. To answer this question, I prompted perplexity, and here's what I got. Intermediate guitar skill refers to a level of proficiency where a player demonstrates a solid foundation in various guitar techniques and musical understanding. It's a stage where players can start to express themselves creatively on the instrument. Now, I couldn't agree more, but had I to read a statement from the eyes of a beginner, it sounds intimidating, too daunting to try, and feels like forever. And hence, it can take forever for most busy adults who are also working on their job, business, or personal lives as well. Then, how is it possible that we see so many child prodigies on the internet playing intermediate guitar without even having a teacher? How is it possible that 64-year-old men who started learning guitar in November were already starting to strum and solo by March? Is it an inborn God given talent that makes some people learn guitar and get to an intermediate guitar level faster compared to others? And the answer lies in the fact that it's not just about learning guitar or following a curriculum or doing rigorous, never ending practice. It's about learning the art of being a musician. Musicianship is more important for you to learn and develop as a skill set way before you try to master any instrument for that matter. And the 7 tips I'm going to give you today are not heavily focused on technical understanding, but about the philosophy of thinking, being, hearing, playing, and creating like a musician would. And honestly, becoming that person is a more important step, even before you attempt getting to an intermediate guitar skill level, just so you can get there faster. So let's break it down. Step one is the skill of rhythmic cognition. Why should we develop the skill? You see, what does this rhythm that you see on the screen mean? Or what does it sound like? Can you mimic it vocally? Can you represent that rhythm by clapping? Can you implement that on a bass note of your guitar? Can you implement that on several notes to start a groove? Chords and notes are just secondary, but developing the skill of rhythmic cognition is the first step to ensure speedy progress to boost your intermediate guitar level. Step 2, visual song mapping. This skill makes it easy for a musician to recall and implement an entire song quickly. While most guitar learners are stuck at attempting to memorize which note or chord comes first and what comes next, someone who can learn the art of visual song mapping can foresee how a song is arranged from the intro to the verse, to the prelude, to the chorus, to the bridge, and back to the chorus. Singers do this often. When singing from a lyric sheet, they categorize a verse into different chunks. They call it chorus, pre chorus, section A, section B, whatever. And then look at these necessary sections as and when required during performance. That kind of understanding you can easily develop from studying music production on a DAW software, a music production software. And it is a necessary prerequisite of anyone looking to get to an intermediate guitar level quickly because it develops that understanding of how a song is made, where your guitar actually comes to use. Step number 3, songwriting tendencies. As you learn a DAW from the previous step, music production, and you're able to see the structures of music, you might often, but not necessarily, always get a feeling of messing about and creating a melodic pattern of your own to try and fit into these grids, into these structures of the bars and the beats. Doing that simple thing is called songwriting because songs are not just about words, which are definitely very important, but when you just use the 7 notes of a diatonic scale to create something of your own, that skill can boost your intermediate guitar playing. Step 4, appreciation of art. Is that a skill? I have no idea. But I know not many people can do it. And here's why. Just like music, everyone loves food, and often some people have a heavy preference towards some food items and hate other types. Sweet or sour, spicy or bitter. Only a chef has the humility and the empathy to understand why different people like different dishes, as he has to feed them all. And that's exactly how a musician, in spite of having personal preference to certain kinds of music, can actually appreciate art and all kinds of music, to be intrigued enough to really learn from those styles and how they can incorporate the guitar to adjust into these different genres. If you're the kind of a person who only likes rock but cannot appreciate hip hop, then that's what at a psychological level is slowing down your intermediate progress because you're stuck in your own little safe zone of comfort and unwilling to explore the vast spectrum that is truly available for you to learn from. Step number 5, solfege attribution. Well, this skill will totally give you that creative freedom that you want as an intermediate guitarist. Because instead of using the hard coded lexical or Western music where you give a concrete name to each note, for example, A or A sharp or G or A flat, what we want to do is make things simpler. Under solfege attribution, what we try to do is memorize the pattern of any given scale. Say for E major, which uses E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, we then allot numbers to the sequence as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we denote them as do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do, otherwise known as solfege, or in Indian style as sa, re, ga, ma, fa, dha, ni, sa. And as you practice your scale and you loudly vocalize the syllables and sing along as you simultaneously strike the notes in your scale pattern. Doing this has a dual benefit. It gives you subconscious ear training powers and also helps you learn to sing in tune if you can't already. But ultimately, it will help you develop that ability to quickly recognize where the do is in your scale or the fa or the la and reach there almost spontaneously. Thus, giving you the superpower of improvising, a crucial skill for any good intermediate guitarist. Step 6, pattern recognition. The simplest of all skills, they say. I disagree. Pattern recognition happens quite easily for some people while it takes quite a long time for others. To develop this skill, however, is pretty simple. Download a game app that allows you to play puzzle games like chess or Candy Crush. I give you two extremes here. Both develop your ability to recognize patterns, as patterns are abound in music. The pattern of beats is subbeats 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the pattern of note distribution in a scale like whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step of a major scale. The pattern of distribution of black notes on a piano or the distribution of a G note on a guitar fretboard across strings and frets. Having pattern recognition skills will help you as an individual guitar player to truly unlock the fretboard quite easily like you have always wanted to. And finally, step 7, collaborative exposure. This is not a skill, it's an environment. An environment that can help nurture you as a musician by being with other musicians. The traditional classroom setting of a music institute is unfortunately not such a place. It can be if students were talking to each other, not always being lectured by the teacher for an hour and then asked to go home. Often, students themselves have to run home. That's not the environment I'm talking about. Think rather of the jam room in a school where band members get together after school to practice for the talent show, and other friends join along to hear the music. And after some practice sessions, these friends are given some maracas to play along with, or a bass to strike a few root notes. It becomes a place you really want to go to spend some time and to be enamored by all these hippies sitting together, making rhythms and lyrics and turning love stories into songs. That's the collaborative exposure that most aspiring intermediate guitarists do not have. And that's the community that I have been attempting to build in school called the Vocal Guitar Creative Bootcamp for those kinds of people, for intermediate guitarists who really want to unlock the creative freedom. Now, if you want to learn more, there are two things you can do. Option 1 is easy. Take this video, link it to Notebook LLM, and start asking more deeper questions about each of the 7 steps that I've just taken you through. And you will be blown away by the education you can get. Option 2 is hard. Click the link in the description, join us in a Zoom call, and showcase your skills and challenges to me. And allow me to analyze where your weaknesses are. Because after understanding where you are and where you want to be, I can create a roadmap custom made for you so that you can incorporate that into the practice session that you already have to get faster results more effectively. Now, if you do not have a practice session, none of this will work. So use the easy way. Just use LLM, answer your own questions. Now, if you have been practicing and you're not getting results, that's where you click the link in the description and come meet our community, show us your skills, and we'll help you analyze how to get better faster. It's not easy, but it can be simple. To consistency and musicianship. Until next time.